We still have a lot of creators to try and get all of them in at another point of time.
I just like first of all to thank Smiti and her entire team for having the event in Panjim. I know she's gotten a lot of offers from other states, a lot of other countries. In fact, have wanted to host Serendipity, but I'm actually extremely thankful that she chose to stay in Panjim. Panjim is an extremely vibrant city. It has a lot of culture. The people here are extremely fond of art. A lot of tourists come here for our heritage and for our history also. And I'm just happy like events like this happen in Panjim because we also do need an alternative to all the current activities that also happen in the city. Now, one good thing about this place is also festivals like Serendipity. They encourage the future generation of children, people who aren't really exposed to art, to actually take an interest in art. Like me, for example, I know nothing about art. But as the festival has gone on, it's actually increased like the scope and breadth of my knowledge when it comes to art and the appreciation that I have towards art. So I just like to say thank her, and I hope we have a very good relationship going forward also.
And the multidisciplinary approach that Serendipity has, I think all the art forms that it covers, it's really amazing. And while I was here, I also, the work that was going on in this building in itself, the way they bring life back to these old buildings, that's also brilliant. It's amazing. So, I would really want to again congratulate her entire team, and I'm really, really looking forward to the festival ahead. And as Rohit sir rightly pointed out, that it's a great opportunity for the younger generation to kind of pick up such art forms and be exposed to them. And even for myself, before I had joined Goa, these art forms just existed, but to be able to go and see them in person and to be able to feel them, it's an amazing opportunity. So all the best to you, Smriti, and we really look forward to the festival, and I'm really, really happy and proud to be able to provide any help or support to the foundation in whatever manner or capacity that we as ESG can.
The festival and the citizen connect is one thing which I would look forward to seeing. Panjim should Serendipity and Panjim should be so synonymous that we should have that vibe which is going on, and over the years I could see this connect growing, and I think it will keep growing. On the front of the economy of the city which goes, I think the footfalls from the first festival to now speak for itself. Footfalls have increased multifold, and that augurs well for our city. It gives another dimension, literally intellectual, positive, multi-dimensional approach which the festival brings various minds together in the city, and I think this gets into the culture, into the skin of the city. I think there are a lot of positives that the city gains from a festival like this, and over the years, as it has grown, this positivity has grown.
And I wanted to showcase the potential of the material. It's an old material, but at the same time, it's very new. People are exploring and experimenting with the material. So the curation is about crafts and handcrafting, and people who've been traditionally practicing living with material through many applications. And the best thing that we're trying to do is bring together the contemporary and the traditional aspects of the versatility of the material and how it could be taken forward. And yeah, I guess that's the
thinking about this kind of anthropological term like field work and how artists are engaging with different sites and the kind of model production that's happening. So there are all kinds of different kinds of texts, whether from songs, testimonies, artist books, and various media that's been explored, and also thinking a lot about materiality and objects. All kinds of different subject positions from which also artists are speaking, and the kinds of communities that they also are engaging with. And one of the things that we were very interested in was also because we've been also thinking about the ground a lot and thinking about soil. So this question of turning, when one is writing with and from the ground, then the whole question of turning also becomes about how one is not necessarily looking at different layers of the past and the present, but kind of thinking of it in a continuum. So a lot of the projects are also looking back at different historical moments. There are artists like the Brito Art Trust of Bangladesh who are actually looking back at the last 10 years of the kind of community projects that they've been doing in coastal areas and water areas in Bangladesh. So it's also very interesting the way that many of the artists have also used the exhibition to look back at some of their own works in some of their long sustained projects. And what's also wonderful is that I think there were 6 projects that have been newly kind of created for the festival. They're quite experimental and collaborative. So that's also very nice that we're able to also, through the exhibition, support new work being made and new collaborations.
Thank you so much, Vidya. Vidya's show is going to be very amazing, guys. You can't miss it. Can I ask Ravi to go next? And then you follow with Virandara and introduction.
Thank you. Well, Panjim has become a second home for me because Vidya and team and the cooperation she gets from here, which brings everybody back here. And I've been here since 2017. I was an artist and a curator. It's been absolutely wonderful. You know, it's really come December and we start thinking of Panjim from Delhi. But for not for tourist reasons, for these reasons. But this time I have co-curated 2 shows. One is with one is an Indo-Swiss video art show with a Swiss curator, David Christinger, who will be here tomorrow. And it's got 3 artists from Switzerland and 4 from India. 4 from Switzerland and 3 from India, and 2 poets. Beneath Roskute, whom you know very well, all of you in Goa, and Neetu Das. One film from an Indian artist, young Indian artist, is specially commissioned for this. It's never been seen before. This whole show is about the ecological question, you know, about how do we think of time in terms of when we think of ecology and the world around us. And as you know, the ecological question has been very much on everybody's mind for some years now. And these are artistic positions from 2 different cultures, 2 different histories. So it's actually the first time that the show has come together, ever. So this is the first show, Indo-Swiss video art called Time is a Mother. The second is again an experimental work, experimental curation, which is done by Janvi Palke, who's director of the Science Gallery in Bengaluru. And they've just opened a show called Carbon. So this is called Blue Carbon. But it's a very interesting experimental collaboration between a scientist, a marine biologist who works in Goa he's done a lot of work in coral reefs, etc. But works as a scientist here, and 2 artists invited from here, Valen and Kaldi Moss. And it's a curatorial proposition to these 3 people, how to reimagine the sea as a carbon sink. And so it will be here, and hopefully, as art should do, it should open up new questions, new imaginations, and we are still have to see it will uncover itself in a few days. These are the 2 things we are doing this year, and on a personal note, I have a new book released, thanks to Smriti, on the 19th, my new photo book, so thank you very much for providing the opportunity.
The exhibition which I'm curating is called Synesthetic Notations. It's at the old GMC, and there's 16 artists who work with who are creating experiences that include sound and visuals in some way. It's also thinking through as you move through the space, and whenever you come back, it will be a change in what you experience, in a way of how we move through life in some way. But when you listen to something or you see something, it's always together. You won't really think of separating it. And that's also how the artists are working through sound and the image through the exhibition. And
in thinking through how sound and image works, it's also where often one looks at something or one hears a sound and you don't really register till you move beyond. And how the space of work is that what you hear at the beginning is also something you carry forward through the passages, and you may arrive at a space where you're looking at a film, but you step out and you're listening to something, and after you leave the space, it invites you back. So I'm hoping all of you will come back more than once,
and we're really excited this year because our exhibition, Let the Sound Linger, is putting a lens on what I think is one of the embodiments of the Goan soul, which is music and song. And as usual, the exhibition looks at telling stories through family archives and conveys various connected histories. And this exhibition, which is at this building, the exercise building on the first floor, is going to be a kind of meandering journey of memories of gold brass bands, or through the early history of theatre, thanks to our collaborators, the TAG, through the melodies of Konkani music on the airwaves, thanks to Tina Justina Costa, and the pictures of her late father, Alan Costa, who is a famous radio personality and singer. There are also stories of the Goan diaspora and how they took their music with them to apart on places like Zanzibar and Dar es Salaam, thanks to collaboration with ethnomusicologist Nalini and Elvin D'Souza. And not to mention there'll be umpteen contributions from our collaborators from the Goa Familia community. So I look forward to seeing you.